So here the hazelnut praline is like beautifully there. What I'm going to do, show you how to make the praline paste, and also the crunchy part will still remain. So we just chop off and then make some pralines, which is like the finer pieces of the same caramelized hazelnut. So this I'm just going to retain to grind it up and then make the paste, and this I'm just going to chop. So we will be using both the praline paste, the hazelnut praline paste, and the tiny portion, the nuts as well. So we just need to be chopping them, that we will be using. Depending on how finer you want the nuts, just go on and then chop them. You like it finer, so I just go on chopping them as fine as possible. Okay, so now these look good, which will be used in the layering of the cake. Now I'll just get back when I'm going to use the rest of the hazelnut praline and then make a paste out of it. So I have the food processor here, which is nothing but mixie, and the praline here. Now I'm just going to get the small jar because the quantity is quite less. I'm just going to break into smaller pieces. I'm just going to process it. I have some oil with me. So while grinding, depending on how fresh the nuts are, if they are like the stalk is quite new, then it is going to grind up and then become a paste by itself, depending on how much oil the nuts has. Now if they are quite dry already, and now when we are going to make the paste, now it will just be in the powder form, and so we just need a little bit of oil. So usage of oil, how much we are going to use, will depend on how the praline is going to behave as we are going to process it. Now if it remains in the powder state for quite some time as we are grinding, then we will add like a teaspoon of oil at a time until we have the proper paste done and ready. Okay. Just want to show how it looks at this stage. It's like a very short run, right? So you can see it's like really nice powder form. Now if you like your praline, the crunchiness from the praline in this fine powder form, instead of chopping, you could also go on to just pulse it up a little bit, so you have quite finer pieces, so you don't have to really feel the nuts as you're biting through the crunchy praline. Okay, so I'm just going to continue and then beat for some time, keep it running. So let me see how it looks. Okay, so you can see it is turning into paste. So how much oil I need to use, I have to decide after the nuts turn into something. If it is like too dry, or it already has some oil in it, and that's why you can see it is kind of becoming a paste. Now again I'm just going to continue beating this, run the food processor. Okay, so I want to check now. So you can see the paste is forming up, so it's not like a dry powder anymore. So the nuts are quite new and good, but then the quantity isn't enough, so it's just going on the sides of the jar, right? So let me just scrape down and continue grinding some more, and then I think I will need about like half a teaspoon of the oil, so the consistency is quite good for me to mix it up in the dessert that I am making, the filling that we will be using on the cake in our case. Okay. So let me just try again. So at each stage you can see how it just changes. You can see the oil, the praline itself is just leaving out oil. To just ease out the process, I will just go on and then add, it should be a flavorless oil. It's like about less than half a teaspoon is what I have added. So now it looks really beautiful. So this is the consistency we are looking for a paste. So let me just remove this from the mixer. I'm just going to transfer it into a bowl so you could just check how the consistency looks. So you can just cling wrap this and then keep it in the fridge, because it would have, the temperature would have gone up because of the heat in the food processor. So you can just allow it to be in the room temperature for some time, cling wrap it and then store it in the refrigerator. We could use them cold as well, because we will be mixing them with the cold cream, and we don't want it to melt the bases that we will be mixing this up with. Just want to clear up or clean up even the lid, so you don't want to waste them. So put everything together. So I'm just going to allow it to cool down. It's not quite hot, it is fine now, and then cling wrap this and then store it up, and I'll get back to show you when I'm going to use this to layer the cake.